Oh my God. Probably the worst thing I've ever been through.
Welcome back everyone to the fourth and final instalment of this exhilarating and wildly unpredictable third attempt at crossing Wales in a completely straight line. Having survived the brutal farmland heavy first half of the trip in epic style, things had taken an unimaginably cruel turn for the worst in what was supposed to be the sanctuary of the moorlands, thanks to what we thought at the time to be a bizarre GPS malfunction. After a truly horrendous ordeal trying to navigate our way to Verity's car before we were presumed dead, me and Ben were forced to retire back to base and allow our broken bodies to recuperate. After a day of contemplation, it was clear to us what needed to be done. It was heartbreaking to leave the line. It ruins that pure essence of journey and adventure that comes with a trip like this, and I don't think it should ever be done unless someone's safety is at stake. However, the truth was that the line could still technically be completed. It might make it somewhat of a hollow victory, but every step of that line could still be walked. Of course, there was still every chance that we could fail to do that. Nothing would surprise us at this point, but all we could do was remain confident and return to the exact point where that screen turned. Okay, me and Ben are back at the forest of disorientation, and well, it's pretty obvious what we're doing. We are going back to the exact point where the GPS, the godforsaken GPS, decided to pack in. We've got about 64 batteries in our bags, but not a lot else, and our intention is to storm to the coast today. 7.5 miles, mainly downhill, but not without a few obstacles. Right, we are approaching the point. We'll see you there. Yeah, that's it, mate. This is where it said we stopped. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Hood up, gloves on, very much so, and off we go. Come on, Ben, let's do it. Come on. Feels good to be further than any point we've been. Spirit and ambition levels were definitely high as we steamed our way through this big, nasty section of pine like it was nothing. However, we were approaching the ravine that I spoke of in the previous episode. Omar the gradient man had identified it to be the steepest gradient of the trip, and it demanded our full attention. The ravine in question is a point for concern. I'm a bit worried about it because there's been a lot of rain. Not a lot, but enough possibly to make it swell. And if it's particularly steep and rocky, especially with my bad ankle, it could be dangerous. Okay, so we're onto the gravel track. We're out of the big section of shorter pine, which is the hardest section, and we're into taller pine down to the ravines. Okay, so Ben, if one of us does get hurt, Verity's that way. Yeah. Contingency plans, nothing more. Oh, that does look far down. Shit. Vehicle. Wonder if they'll confront Verity. Fucking hell, man. The ravine, which was more of a gully really, was steep but doable, which is what we predicted in the planning stage. After carefully shimmying our way down to the stream, which wasn't too swollen, it was another awkward climb up and over to the second of the two gullies that join forces to form the river Hengum. Gully 2, with its spongy banks and shallow stream, seemed much friendlier, until we got a bit closer. Mate, that is an absolute slide, isn't it?
Tom, you need to be wary though, because that's just going to go straight down.
I know. No, that genuinely is. Oh my God. Fucking hell. Slippy?
Yeah.
Oh.
How are we going to do this?
I don't know. Okay, get that piece of wood. Where are we on the line?
We're walking up to it.
Okay. Right, let's get that piece of wood and we'll scrape all the moss off.
I don't like that.
Have you got the piece of wood?
Yeah.
We need to do loads of scraping. God, just when you think it's all right, man. Fucking hell. We need to just shut up, don't we? Yeah. Now, Ben, you need to jump from where you are.
Okay, good.
With Ben and the bags safely across, it was my turn to jump. And unfortunately for me, I was gonna have to land on my bad foot.
Oh, fuck, sorry man, I didn't have a good foot.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
We're over, we're over.
Just when you think you've got to walk in the path,
You have Britain's biggest water slide, and God knows where that leads. The speed you would pick up doesn't bear thinking about. Anyway, let's get the fuck off it. Looks like now we've got short pine mixed with heather and shit, which doesn't look very nice, but pretty much out of the woods and into the moors. Bring it on.
Just as the trees and the heather made way for lovely green grass, an almighty wind, which until now we'd been sheltered from, almost blew us back down the hill. We could see the reservoir in the distance, and I know this because I can just about hear us fretting about it over the deafening sound of the wind. And a kilometre later, it was the wind that was now our main cause for concern.
Mate, it's chopping, it's flowing. Well, the wind's blowing. Yeah, that doesn't look good.
With a limited and not particularly impressive track record when it came to swimming in freezing cold lakes with a dry bag, I definitely didn't feel overly confident with the idea of swimming out against such a strong wind, something you can just about make out in this clip.
Our bags are just going to be like big sails, man. And if our legs cramp up, we'll just end up over there. I can see it happening. Yeah, well, let's find out. Yeah, mate. No chance.
It was a bit disheartening, but we were going to have to go around to the dam, which was around 30 metres north of the line and another drift out of the platinum zone, which is probably exactly what would have happened anyway if we'd have tried to swim.
Right. Just carry on without me, mate.
oh, sure.
Okay, there we go. I'm not really happy about that, but I honestly think we would have got blown down. We're just desperate to get to the end now, so let's do exactly that. So this is where we would have camped and met Verity at the end of day 3. It's mad to think we were 2 hours from this spot 2 days ago. We've only just got here.
So, having already done the first quarter of the day distance-wise, we breakfasted in the peaceful shelter of the trees and looked forward to a predominantly downhill 6 miles to the coast. But what else could we expect from those 6 miles? What other obstacles lurked down there waiting to thicken this mental plot even further? Well, you just don't know, plainly. But this is what we were expecting. The remoteness would continue for a good while with these pine forests and moorlands which slowly led back down towards civilization. A sea view glamping field made way for what definitely looked like a fairly steep river gorge, and then a couple of tricky looking properties would hopefully lead us down to the main road. Beyond that there were a few more fields, a pretty swampy looking nature reserve, and finally, 2 ditch lined fields later was the coast. Based on how quick I made it down to the coast on day 5 of my first Wales attempt, I was fairly confident that we could be tasting salt water by 3 PM. But was it going to be that simple? I'll let you have a guess.
Right, off we go. 11, 6 miles to go.
What we've just been through, this is, dare I say, enjoyable.
Haha! Really is, isn't it?
Fingers crossed it continues.
Thanks to the lofty nature of these forests, me and Ben made more good progress. And it was up on this unusual Washington State looking moor that we finally witnessed just how much progress we'd actually made.
Wow, Is that the sea? Are you kidding me?
No, that's the estuary.
What?
Yeah, 5 miles away. Yeah! Heartbreaking, isn't it, really, when you look back and see where it went wrong.
That is fucking Mordor compared to...
Morale now boosted to an all-time high. The second biggest forest of the trip genuinely felt like an indulgence.
This is beautiful.
Oh, gone like a 10k jog through it.
I know, mate.
It sounds ridiculous to the average viewer, but
I feel like we're being pampered.
I know, we are being pampered, aren't we?
For the first time in the entire trip, we're being thrown a bit of a bone.
Yeah.
That bone stretched all the way to the end of this soul-cleansing forest, where it stopped abruptly.
Oh god.
We knew it couldn't last forever.
Yeah, that's very true.
It was kind of like the kids' pool version of this, which is still pretty bad. But eventually we were back out onto the moorland. Here we realised that we were actually heading straight back into the forest.
Whoa!
And when we were finally free from the foliage, things didn't really get much easier.
Well, this amber meadow is so grueling. Terrible for the ankle.
But that wasn't the only issue.
Oh, there's a vehicle down there, Tom.
There was a farmer about. Normally I'd have said that there was no chance that we'd be ordered away in such a remote area, but there were fences, and based on our recent experiences, I wasn't so sure. The already sapping trek to the car, which was suspiciously close to our line by the way, was now also a nervy one.
Got the fucking butterflies again, man. I'm a bit nervous. What if it's a Yeah, exactly. This fucking ground is horrible. It's not in there, I don't think. I don't think he's there, man. I can't see him. Come on. It's odd. Let's just get out of it. Well, it's pretty odd, but up until now he's nowhere to be seen. He might be around here. Might be back that way, hopefully. But yeah, it's not very often you see a car left like that. Can't be far away.
The next half a mile was spent making our way along the hillside, constantly looking over our shoulder for the return of the farmer, whose engine would be drowned out by the wind. Even when his farm came into view though, it didn't really matter. We had the higher ground, and no one was going to follow us through our next obstacle.
Oh, fucking hell, it's gorse.
Cue the music. When the gorse finally did end, it was straight into the Ferns. It was all much slower progress than predicted, but it was progress nonetheless.
Every now and then a fleeting glimpse of the finish line, the sea appears and then disappears again. Just a reminder. Oh, my fucking ankle. It's alright, I stopped it just in time. That was fucking close, man. I just rolled it again.
Fucking hell.
It's gonna hurt, but
What's the new thing?
nah, I'm hard. Yeah. No.
Ankles still just about functioning, we soldiered on down the increasingly autumnal palette of the valley towards civilization. An unexpected farmhouse sheep field combo had us scuttling swiftly into this lovely mystical woodland, and another eco-friendly looking property to our right was another brief moment of concern. A few rocky crags kept us on our toes during the final fern-infested stretch, but beyond that, another much more fearsome word beginning with F threatened to ruin the party.
Hello, Bab. Sorry, I've only just got signal. We're about 100 metres away from the glamping thing, but I'm a bit worried about coming into the field. Yeah, is he still there?
Yep, that's right. There was another farmer dead ahead. We knew this because of a text from Verity telling us that she'd parked up near the glamping site, which was basically just a farm, and had been approached by the farmer.
Did he seem like he could get angry? If he wanted to?
No, it doesn't seem like he would get angry. Like
Okay.
he wouldn't chase you, I wouldn't have thought.
We'll play it by ear then. Alright. Alright, bye. Okay, I don't know if you really got that, but the upshot was there's a farmer 150 metres from us, and the farmer is in his field in a tractor. Verity has talked to him. He asked her what she was doing there, quite inquisitive and wanting to know what she was doing there. Yeah, we're going to get to the edge of the field and weigh it up. Do we hide? Do we speak to him? Do we run? It's worked for us in the past, Ben.
It has.
And it's downhill this time.
With Verity now departed and no sign of the farmer, we studied the farm's quite favourable layout and escape route, and once again seized the moment.
It quickly does it. Quietly now.
The line actually headed in this direction, behind the farm. Sticking to the track was far safer though, especially as we had no idea where the farmer was. Just as we were about to march, buttocks clenched into the heart of the farm, in the corner of my eye I noticed the most comforting of signs.
That's public.
We just so happened to be on a public footpath. The question now was, how far would it take us from the line?
We're all good so far. Pretty sure this is a public path. Dog startled me a bit.
And the luck continued.
Okay. Oh my god, it looks like the path actually goes down where we're going. Yeah. So chuffed about that. It's so funny because you get these sudden question marks like, oh, there's a farmer in a field in a tractor.
Yeah.
Didn't even see him.
I know.
Didn't see the guy. But then you get down there and you've got a farm to contend with a dog, but it's a public footpath. I mean, it's just... Oh, this is stunning. Really starting to descend now into the valley, which feels great, but so much could go wrong still. Still work to do. We're about 2 miles from the end, maybe less. It's beautiful. I'm loving the trees that are appearing now. But yeah, I don't know exactly what we're going to come up against. There's definitely someone's back garden, so yeah, it might be this one actually.
It wasn't this one. That is to say, it wasn't the one I was referring to, but there was definitely a rogue property approaching.
Fuck. What is that shit? Are we going left or right? Let's go left. Yeah? Fuck. I think it could be abandoned. What the fuck, man? That's trippy. I'm just going through like right past the front door of a cottage. Just like an old woman. You know, the ghost of an old woman.
Next up was the wooded gorge of the River Einon, whose steep, dense valley walls we'd have to somehow negotiate.
Okay, it's going to be a case of skirting along this valley. It's going to get steep, without doubt. It's definitely going to be steep. Could be brambly, could be slaty, could be dangerous, could be fine.
In the end, it didn't look like it was going to matter.
Sure we don't cross this? Oh, we might do, yeah. Okay. Well, we're walking down the river then. That's slippy.
Oh dear. Oh, it's quite nice. Yeah. Oh, 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 buddy.
This is sick, man. I love this shit, do you?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
But it was about to go up a notch.
This looks deep, Benny boy.
That's going to be really deep down there. Yeah, that'd be shallower.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I know, mate. Should just swim down, shouldn't we?
It wouldn't be the first time me and Ben had floated down a river,
Not too bad.
and at least it would be a darn sight warmer this time, particularly for Ben.
Yeah, I think so. Don't piss your pants, Ben. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God. Do you mind if that makes the cut?
A few yards downstream, things were really hotting up.
What do we do here? I think if we try and... Yeah, go round, yeah.
So, for safety reasons, it was back out of the river and up onto the steep, brambly assault course that was the left-hand bank.
Do we go down or round? Okay.
This trend continued for a while as we skirted around a couple more deep pools, trying our best to obey the erratic readings of the Garmin, which was floundering in this claustrophobic gorge almost as much as we were. Before an absurd amount of time had passed though, it finally seemed to be pointing us out of here.
Such a cool river though, man. You could come here and swim, couldn't you? Well, we have. I take my hats off to this river. It's bloody lovely. It's been a bit of an obstacle and we could have hurt ourselves, but it's bloody lovely. Look at the colour of the leaves under there. That is so cool.
Treating our testicles to one last dip, it was back up the rather steep northern bank of the gorge and onto our next target.
What's the time, Ben? 10 to 3. Okay. Perhaps overestimated it a bit today, but we'll get there in hopefully a decent time.
Thanks to an array of sticky terrain types, time had really started to pass us by. And although we weren't far from the coast, we might struggle to reach it before dark at the rate we were going.
Shit! Oh, it's alright, it's alright.
Itching to get the ominous-looking property that awaited us over and done with, we were yet again stunted by a horrible fern and bramble combo, which went on for a painful 300 metres. Soon, though, there were telephone wires.
Oh, there's the house, Ben. Yeah, she wants some time. Just go through quickly. Yeah, really quick. And here we go, Ben.
Only visible from above on Google Earth, we had no way of knowing what sort of fences or hedges we'd be up against until we got there. As with most remote abodes, the boundaries were quite rudimentary, but that didn't mean there weren't people about.
Good, Ben? Yeah. There's a person in that over there, someone on the right. Oh yeah, okay, quick one. I haven't seen this yet. Let's go. He's right there, Tom. Okay, we're all good. Got past the cottage all right, and that bloke is busy playing in the dirt, so we're all good.
We were now a stone's throw from the A487, the main road that we would eventually meet Verity on once we'd successfully reached the coast. However, despite only being 1.4 miles from it, there was still a lot of unknown territory to get through. This huge, boggy-looking nature reserve in particular had me quite worried, and I was also secretly a bit worried about the estuary. But right now, there was a more immediate cause for concern.
Oh yeah. Where's the line going?
The line was heading straight for a bungalow, and with a bit of help from some shadowy imagery on Google Earth, I'd wrongly concluded that we were to head just to the left of it.
Yeah, okay, we need to go down here.
As we skirted gingerly along the tree line, Ben spotted something.
Well, which one do you then go through here? Yeah, let's go through here.
With a person in the window, we'd veered further left into the cover of the trees, but confusingly, we were now quite wide of the line.
I don't understand this, Ben. We're going on. Nearly 20 metres.
I now wanted to get a good view from the edge of the forest to plan our next move, but in my haste, a rogue twig almost poked my eye out.
Ah! Fuck! Fucking branch to the eye, come on.
Now in plain view, we made our move. With my good eye, I could make out a long hedge up ahead and the front door, which was open.
Fuck. We need to jump the hedge, man. We need to jump it quick, quick, quick. Good, well done. Oh, God alive, man. We went so far off then.
23 metres was the price to pay for all the confusion, but our focus was now on the 4 or 5 farmers' fields that separated us from the nature reserve. And as you can probably imagine, we weren't hanging about.
Okay, another farmer and sheep here. I need to change a GoPro battery bed quick. So, here we go.
Our next unforeseen cock-up in the least ideal place possible involved the plastic tab on the GoPro battery coming off, leaving the battery jammed inside the GoPro.
Shit. Shit, shit, shit.
Luckily though, I'd brought an emergency backup GoPro for this final day.
Okay, backup GoPro. Please last as long as you say you do on the tin. We need you to. Really? Oh my God. Fuck. Mate. Through the glove? Yeah. Fuck. This is the wood, the marsh. I've got to try and conserve battery on the GoPro though, because I have no idea how long this GoPro is going to last, because you can't change the batteries on it. So, please bear with me. One more field to go. Oh my God, Ben. Ben's having a nightmare. Last little field, come on.
And with this final dash, we were entering the safety of the nature reserve.
So refreshing that. Okay, man. Yeah, 738 metres. Then, yeah, and then it's like 2 or 3 fields. In total, it's 1.42 kilometres to the end, so less than a mile. Okay. But I don't know what this is going to be like. It could be terrible. It could be okay. It could be somewhere in between. Should we find out? You're going to be a happy, you better be a happy man at that finish line.
After a few metres, it was already terrible.
Fuck me, man. I know it's only 700 metres, but it could be 700 metres of hell. Fuck me, man. I'm getting fucking... This really is like the end of Sleeping Beauty. I really wish I had a sword. Ah, you fucking little shit! Oh, this is a wretched place.
Soon though, the brambles made way for an even more worrying sight.
Okay, Ben. Straight up ahead we have reeds. Doesn't look good. This is something I haven't come across yet. Let's see what it's like. Come on! We're not failing our mission on this. Okay, the floor seems to be quite dry. Yeah. Oh yes, I'll take this. If this is what we're up against.
But it was shortly after this bramble to the face.
Yeah, this is fine. Oh! You fucking... Oh! Right in the mouth.
That a couple of other rare species of bush were thrown into the mix, and things really started to get out of hand.
This is one of the, probably the worst thing I've ever been through as a standalone obstacle. Anyway, can't waste any battery. We've got 170 metres of it left. No, that's not nothing. It's a lot, trust me. See you later.
It's hard to put across to you just how enraging this muggy hellhole was.
Fuck me, man. I've never seen so many twigs and branches in one place. What? You can, mate. You can, you'll find a way.
But I think our reaction when we finally reach the end says it all.
Oh yes. Oh my god, mate. This is amazing. Oh, that's so fucking good. I cannot tell you how good this feels.
We're getting out of it.
Oh my god.
We're getting out of it.
Mate.
We're fucking getting out of it. I can't believe that.
I can't believe how wretched that was. I'm not counting my chickens yet because we've got 2 flat, possibly crop fields. I pray to God there's no crops in them. And we've got potential trenches, canals in between the fields. And that could mean potentially stripping off. So it's not over yet. Hopefully it's neither. Hopefully it's neither. It's 20 to 5, so much later and it'd be dark. So come on, Ben. God, we're going to be so jubilant. You're going to see 2 jubilant men now. You watch.
There was a tad more unfavourable foliage just before the fields, but it didn't seem to bother us too much.
I think it's just ferns and brambles. Yeah, sweet. Oh mate, I think it's a sheep field. I don't think there's any crops. That's amazing news. The only question mark now is the trenches, the little canals. Okay, this might be one right here.
It was.
Oh yeah, that is horrible, isn't it? Should we see how deep it is, mate?
Yeah. Can you go first?
Yep, I'll go first. You film.
Can you walk in it?
I don't think that's safe, mate. That goes so far down. And it fucking stinks. What we're going to do? We try and use this oak branch.
Can you hang off that birch? Yeah, do that. Do that.
I think I can jump soon.
Yeah. If you...
Yes, it worked.
Okay.
Took me that. Oh my god.
Now for Ben's turn.
Yeah, hold higher up on the birch. I don't know. Oh my god. It's alright, you're alright, you're alright. Oh god. You're alright. Come here, come here. Oh my god, there better not be another one of these. Oh fuck, Ben. How far is that off? Oh, let's see, let's see.
As you can see, this channel was really wide, so not overly keen on swimming across, we looked to a wooden structure up ahead which seemed to be about 15 metres offline, but the structure had long since collapsed.
Whoa. Fuck mate, that's so deep. I think we just got to jump, mate.
You're going to go straight in if you jump, Tom. You need to like kind of wade across.
Overconfident from previous jumps, I decided to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm going for it. Mate, that is so deep.
I'm going to try and swim across it.
You are?
I'm going to try and swim across it.
Oh my god. Come on. Jesus Christ. You had to wear that t-shirt, didn't you? We're nearly there, Ben. I don't believe what this line has thrown us at the final hurdle. But I think there's no more water, Ben. I don't think there is.
Already wet, mate.
Ah! Come on! One more disgusting hedgerow.
Guess again.
Oh no, don't say it's a ditch. Oh no, it is bad. There is another tree though.
Unperturbed, I carried out my next bog-defying strategy, but was my losing streak destined to continue?
Don't like this. Oh my god. Oh, muddy. Muddy. Okay. Well, you're buggered. What a wretched end of this trip.
Praying that the next droplet of water we'd be touching was salty, we ploughed through another rare species of reed, teleported ourselves over the railway track,
Huh. That's weird.
and gazed out over the marshy grassland of the estuary. All we had to do now was stride out there until we hit one of these snaking canyon-like inlets of salt water. The only problem, apart from the deafening wind, was that the line I'd drawn on Google Earth only protruded so far, prompting the GPS, which was still on completely full battery by the way, to celebrate prematurely. Hell bent on brine, we kept walking in what felt like a straight line until, 75 metres later...
Yeah. I mean, guys, I know it looks ridiculous, but that is the coast. Yeah! Oh, come on! Get in, man. Oh, fuck! What a horrible end that was. How do you feel, Ben?
I feel like we've just done the impossible.
I know.
I really mean that.
I know, mate.
That
Horrible.
was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, hands down. And I am. There's a crab here.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Fill out my pants.
There you go. You didn't believe us. You at home. Right, let's touch the water, Ben. Let's taste it. Let's taste the success. Oh. Yeah, it's salty. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my god.
Right, Ben, should we get back to dry land?
Where the fuck do we do that?
I don't know. We'll see you in a bit. The battery's going. Thank God it lasted, eh?
And so, with minutes of daylight to spare, the fourth and final day of this Herculean quest for geometric perfection was finally over. As we hauled our foul-smelling figures back towards the warm, dry utopia of Verity's car, we could finally relax, discuss the latest ridiculous afternoon we'd just endured, and come to terms with what we'd just achieved.
Come on.
Oh god.
That can go off. Oh my god.
Today alone felt like a huge achievement, to be honest. But what about the bigger picture? Was this mission a failure or a success? Well, everyone is going to have their own opinions on this, but personally, if it's one or the other, I'd have to say it's a success. However, I can't deny that I'd have been twice as happy if we'd have done it in one continuous go. It would have been so much sweeter and more meaningful knowing that we'd done it in the purest, most proper way possible, and that no one could ever beat us to that. What we had undeniably done though was walked every step of the way across Wales in a virtually completely straight line, which was the main thing we set out to do. We'd battled gallantly against the brutal October foliage, defied pain and injury, and escaped impossible situations. And the rewards for all of that were immense. A new first for the record books, a bounty of memories, stories, lessons and enlightenments for us to both take home, and a beautiful blue line that we can proudly admire for the rest of our days. We'll go over everything in much more detail in the line review video, but for now I just want to say thank you. Omar for your crucial steep gradient checks, Marcus for inspiring me to get back out there and to give this another go, even if your first attempt didn't end up going exactly to plan. All of you lot for watching this series, but most importantly to Ben and Verity. Their efforts on this trip were phenomenal and crucial to its success, and I can't wait to talk about their efforts in full on that line review video. But for now, as you watch me scamper back over this field with the stash bag one last time, you may be asking yourself, could this be the last time you ever see me run across a farmer's field?
Okay.
Sorted.
I've got a feeling that might be the last farm I run across. I'm done.
What does he know? See you on my next adventure. Oh! Oh! Oh, fuck it out. Oh, sorry, Ben.